This is the American Forces Vietnam Network.
When you go to the States, leave your weapons and ammunition in Vietnam. If you're caught trying to take firearms or explosives aboard the plane, you could be in serious trouble. An accidental explosion could knock your D-Rose flight into the Pacific. Don't take chances with weapons and explosives.
News compiled from major commercial and military news sources.
It's 5 p.m. In the top of the news, it has been learned that the 20 American prisoners repatriated from North Vietnam Sunday refused to leave their prison compound at first. The sources say a senior U.S. officer from the Four-Power Joint Military Commission had to visit the compound and convince the prisoners they were really being freed. The Americans doubted they would be released Sunday because previously they had been told they would be released later. Meanwhile, it is reported that the processing of the 20 newly released men is going so smoothly that several may be released soon to fly home. They'll include Navy Lieutenant James Bailey of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, who was released earlier than scheduled by Hanoi because of illness in his family. Henry Kissinger has flown to Tokyo from Peking, where he conferred with Communist China's Premier Zhou Enlai for 5 hours yesterday in what the Florida White House termed frank and wide-ranging conversations. Kissinger is slated to hold talks with Japanese leaders in Tokyo. After an overnight stay in the Japanese capital, Kissinger will return to Washington. The Pentagon has refused to comment on a CBS report that the Navy has trained dolphins for intelligence work. The network said in a broadcast Sunday night that a dolphin had been trained to place a detection device in a foreign harbor. The mission reportedly involved determining what kind of atomic fuel the Russians are using in their nuclear submarines. Newsman Morley Safer said the planning and retrieving operation is one of several tasks done by the Navy's biological weapons system. It uses trained dolphins, whales, and sea lions. Safer said the dolphin that placed the detecting device in the foreign harbor went back weeks later and retrieved it for what he termed American intelligence analysis. He gave no further details. The Pentagon disclosed last September that the Navy had trained whales to recover such objects as torpedoes from the ocean floor. St. Louis teachers have voted to end their strike. They've accepted the latest offer from the Board of Education. The walkout is 28 days old and has kept 103,000 youngsters out of class. The board says schools will reopen Tuesday. The settlement proposal included an immediate $200 pay hike and another $800 in 18 months. It was approved by 90% of the St. Louis Teachers Association and 75% of the St. Louis Teachers Union. The Florida White House continues to maintain a news blackout on what President Nixon will discuss in a closed-door session with AFL-CIO leaders in Miami Beach. However, sources say the president will make an appeal for organized labor support of his economic policies. Many of the 35 members of the AFL-CIO Executive Council, headed by AFL-CIO President George Meany, are preparing a list of complaints for discussion with President Nixon. It includes the loss of American jobs to foreign competition, wage controls, and rising food prices. A federal court jury in Chicago resumes deliberations for a third day today in the trial of federal appeals court judge Otto Kerner. He is accused of having accepted racing stock as a bribe while he was governor of Illinois. Kerner was elected governor in 1960 and served until 1968 when he was appointed to the federal bench. Also on trial with him on similar charges is Theodore Isaacs, a former state revenue director of Illinois. The jury had been deliberating the charges against the two men for 13 hours before adjourning Sunday night. Strong political overtones developed Sunday in the student unrest in Greece. Former politicians and the last constitutionally appointed premier appeared as defense witnesses at a trial of 11 students in Athens. The students are charged with insulting and resisting authority during disturbances last Wednesday in Athens at Greece's best higher school of learning, the Polytechnic Institute. Students were demonstrating against anti-student legislation while abstaining from classes. Defense witnesses Sunday contended police had no right to enter the campus in an effort to disperse students assembled for a protest meeting. In other news, British labor unions have rejected the Conservative government's anti-inflation policies. The unions have demanded instead spending policies to soak the rich and the large corporations. Senator Gaylord Nelson says he'll introduce in the Senate this week a bill to clamp federal controls on the nation's drug industry. He says it's designed to protect Americans against unsafe, poorly tested, and overpriced medications. And finally in the news, Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman J.W. Fulbright says he's ready to bargain with the White House about supporting administration plans to rebuild North Vietnam. That's AFVN News to the Hour. I'm Army Specialist Tom Folston reporting.
News compiled from major commercial and military news sources.
Well, people think we're crazy just 'cause we made it back alive. Yeah, people think we're crazy 'cause we made it back alive. Well, that really wasn't my fault. The whole damn time I thought I'd die. Look at here. We'd be walking through the jungle, always looking side to side. Yeah, we'd be walking through the jungle, steady looking side to side. We'd be looking hard for Charlie, praying like hell he'd run and hide. Charlie had a secret weapon. It's a time bomb in my mind. Yeah, Charlie had a secret weapon. Time bomb in my mind. I don't know how they could do it. They drafted children down to 9. Oh Lord. People think we're crazy just 'cause we made it back alive. Yeah, people think we're crazy 'cause we made it back alive. Well, you know that wasn't my fault. The whole damn time I thought I'd die.
two lonely soldiers fighting the war. Won't be home for Christmas Day, so this is what they'll say.
This is the time of the year that we love so dear. Let it be jingle bells.
I wanna hear jingle bells, baby.
I wanna tell you that if it's all right with me. Oh yeah, but I wanna tell you I remember everyone was so happy.
So happy, baby.
Everybody was so gay. Been waiting for so long.
I've been waiting, baby,
for that wonderful day. Merry Christmas was what they would say. It won't be merry. It won't be merry this Christmas time.
No, no, baby.
There'll only be friends and loved ones.
Friends and loved ones.
Friends and loved ones. Friends and loved ones all around me die.
All around me now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
And this I wanna tell you now, I know that I can't help but feeling badly.
I feel badly, baby.
And I'm so sadly.
I'm in a foxhole, baby.
Everybody fighting madly. Will it ever end? Everyone will be free. I wanna tell you, I can't let it bother me.
I can't let it bother me, baby.
Some things I know we may never see.
Oh, man, but I don't see it, baby.
Maybe I won't be home this time.
I know I won't be home.
But the bells will ring silent night in this heart of mine.
Bells will ring silent night in my house, baby.
Yeah, now, I want everybody to know that I want my baby.
I bet you every day.
I want my baby.
Oh, baby.
I'm gonna have Christmas any old way.
I wanna have Christmas, baby.
I still want to see my baby. Here it comes, everywhere I look now.
Here come, baby.
These days all around me.
We got to get 'em spotted down.
I'm gonna fall on my knees and say a prayer now.
Draft Dodger Rag. Oh, I'm just a typical American boy from a typical American town. I believe in God and Senator Dodd and keeping old Castro down. And when it came my time to serve, I knew better dead than red. But when I got to my old draft board, buddy, this is what I said. Sarge, I'm only 18, I got a ruptured spleen, and I always carry a purse. I got eyes like that, my feet are flat, my asthma's getting worse. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm going to school, and I'm working in a defense plant. I got a dislocated disc and a wrapped up back, I'm allergic to flowers and bugs. And when the bombshell hits, I get epileptic fits, and I'm addicted to 1,000 drugs. I got the weakness woes, I can't touch my toes, I can hardly reach my knees. And if the enemy came close to me, I'd probably start to sneeze. Yes, I'm only 18, I got a ruptured spleen, and I always carry a purse. I got eyes like a bat, my feet are flat, my asthma's getting worse. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm going to school, and I'm working in a defense plant. I hate short lie, and I hope he dies, but one thing you gotta see, that someone's gotta go over there, and that someone isn't me. So I wish you well, Sarge, give him hell, kill me 1,000 or so. And if you ever get a war without blood and gore, I'll be the first to go. Yes, I'm only 18. I got a ruptured spleen and I always carry a purse. I got eyes like a bat, my feet are flat, my asthma's getting worse. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm going to school and I'm working in a defense plant.
Vietnam, Southeast Asian, Birmingham. Well, training is the word we use, nice word to have in case we lose. Training a million Vietnamese to fight for the wrong government and the American way. Well, they put me in a barracks house just across the way from Laos. They said you're pretty safe when the troops deploy, but don't turn your back in your house, boy. When they ring the gong, watch out for the Viet Cong. Well, the sergeant said it's time to train, so I climbed aboard the helicopter plane. We flew above the battleground, the sniper tried to shoot us down. He must have forgot we're only trainees. Them commies never fight fair. Perhaps the very next day we trained some more. We burned some villages down to the floor. Yes, we burned out the jungles far and wide. Made sure those red apes had no place left to hide. Threw all the people in relocation camps under lock and key. Made damn sure they're free. Well, to walk through the jungle around the bend, who should I meet? The ghost of President DM. said you're fighting to keep Vietnam free for good old democracy. That means rule by one family and 15,000 American troops, give or take a few thousand American troops. He said I was a fine old Christian man ruling this backward Buddhist land. Well, it ain't much, but what the heck, it sure beats hell at a Shanghai shack. I'm the power elite, me and the 7th Fleet. He said, meet my sister, Madam New, the sweetheart of Bien Bien Phu. He said, meet my brothers, meet my aunts, with a government that doesn't take a chance. Families that slay together, stay together. Said if you want to stay, well, you have to pay over $1 million a day. But it's worth it all. Now don't you see, if you lose the country, you still have me. Me and Sigmund Rhee, Chiang Kai-shek, Madam New. Like I said on Meet the Press, I regret that I have but one country to give for my life. Well, now old DN is gone and dead. All the new leaders are anti-red. Yes, they're pro-American freedom sensations against Red China and the United Nations. Now all the news commentators and the CIA are saying, thank God for coincidence.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Well, if you want me, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. I don't wanna go. Mr. Custer, please don't make me go. I had a dream last night about the coming fight. Somebody yelled attack, and there I stood with the arrow in my back. Please, Mr. Custer, I don't want to go. Bushes out there, they're moving. There's an engine behind every one. Hey, Mr. Custer, you mind if I'll be excused the rest of the afternoon? Hey, Charlie, duck your head. Oh, you're a little bit late on that one, Charlie. Whew, I bet that's smarts.
They were sure of victory, the men of the 7th Cavalry, and they rode on. But then from the rear a voice was heard, that same great voice with a trembling word, rang loud and clear.
What am I doing here? Please, Mr. Custer, I don't want to go. Listen, Mr. Custer, please don't make me go. There's a redskin waiting out there, intend to take my hand. A coward I've been told, 'cause I don't want to wind up dead or bald. Please, Mr. Custer, I don't want to go. No. What the angel word for friend is? Say friend, Kemosabe, that's it. Kemosabe! Hey out there, Kemosabe! That isn't it. Look at him out there. Running around like a bunch of wild engines. Oh, this ain't no time for joking.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I'd go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha! You thought it was a joke, and so you laughed. You laughed when I had said that losing you would make me flip my lid. Right? You know you laughed. I heard you laugh. You laughed and laughed, and then you left. But now you know I'm utterly mad. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Ha-ha. Well, you just wait, they'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming. We gotta get out of this place. Get this out.
You never know when it's gonna happen. You might hear an AK snapping. You hit the dirt and start a praying and hope that someone hears what you're saying. Firefight.
This is the American Forces Vietnam Network.
Among the rights you gain by your military service are your rights under the GI Bill. The GI Bill guarantees you money for an education, a loan to buy a house, and more. Don't let your rights go unused. Check up on the GI Bill.
News compiled from major commercial and military news sources.
It's 6 o'clock. In the top of the news, a nationwide ceasefire in Laos went into effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
This is the American Forces Vietnam Network.
Among the rights you gain by your military service are your rights under the GI Bill. The GI Bill guarantees you money for an education, a loan to buy a house, and more. Don't let your rights go unused. Check up on the GI Bill.
News compiled from major commercial and military news sources.
It's 6 o'clock. In the top of the news, a nationwide ceasefire in Laos went into effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Reliable sources in Vientiane, Laos said U.S. bombing ended several hours before the official ceasefire. The ceasefire followed 25 hours after the signing of a peace accord between the warring government of Premier Suvarnabhumi and the Communist Pathet Lao rebels. The effectiveness of the ceasefire is not expected to be known for some hours, maybe even for days. Military communications throughout Laos are often primitive, and the battle areas are separated by as much as 1,000 miles. The signing of the ceasefire meant that Cambodia is the only country still officially at war on the Indochina Peninsula. The official North Vietnamese Communist Party newspaper today hailed the Laos ceasefire agreement as an extremely glorious victory. The paper also called it an important setback for what it termed U.S. aggression in Indochina. The South Vietnamese Foreign Ministry said the Laos ceasefire agreement may contribute to the restoration of peace in Vietnam and Indochina. That's if the agreement will be respected and strictly implemented by all sides. The Justice Department acted today to put an end to what it terms a conspiracy to control the market in mutual funds. It filed a civil antitrust suit in U.S. District Court in Washington against the National Association of Securities Dealers and 15 other defendants. The suit alleges that the dealers have conspired to prevent brokers from dealing in mutual fund shares among themselves or from processing sales between customers at competitive brokerage rates. The National Association of Securities Dealers has 4,400 members. Also named were 3 mutual funds, their underwriters, and 9 of the nation's largest securities brokerage firms. In a nationwide radio address on the economy today, President Nixon promised a responsible prosperity in 1973 if Congress and the public cooperate. He said that food prices will rise sharply for some months to come, but he predicted a leveling off in the last half of the year. If anti-inflation controls work as expected, said President Nixon, your dollars will go farther in your local shop or supermarket. A U.S. District Court judge has denied defense motions to remove the prosecutor and dismiss indictments in the Pentagon Papers trial of Daniel Ellsberg and Anthony Russo. Judge Matt Byrne, however, ordered Assistant U.S. Attorney David Nissen to turn over to the defense information sent to the Justice Department last month by Central Intelligence Agent Samuel Adams. Ellsberg and Russo are on trial on charges of conspiracy, espionage, and theft in connection with the release of the Pentagon's secret history of the Vietnam War. Former Democratic National Chairman Lawrence O'Brien has filed an $11 million countersuit against two officers of President Nixon's re-election campaign. The suit is the latest chapter in the war over the Watergate bugging incident at the Democratic National Headquarters. Named in the suit are Chairman of the Finance Committee to re-elect the President, Maurice Stans, and the Chairman of the Committee for Re-election of the President, Francis Dale. A professor of law at Georgetown University will be the chief counsel for the special 7-member Senate committee which was created to investigate the water affair. Samuel Dash is a former Philadelphia district attorney and was approved by the committee Wednesday. Police in Chicago say 3 armed men held nearly 100 supermarket customers at bay Wednesday night as they emptied 5 cash registers. Police said the men made off with between $7,500 and $10,000 in cash. An explosion collapsed part of a huge water tunnel under construction in New York's Bronx section today, killing 1 workman and injuring 3 others. 1 of the men is critically hurt. The latest death brought to 9 the number of workers killed on the project in 3 years. A fire department spokesman said employees had been blasting the tunnel earlier with dynamite.
Fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
I have asked for this radio and television time tonight for the purpose of announcing that we today have concluded an agreement to end the war and bring peace with honor in Vietnam and in Southeast Asia.
On the top of the news, it has been learned that the 20 American prisoners repatriated from North Vietnam Sunday refused to leave their prison compound at first. The sources say a senior U.S. officer from the 4-powered Joint Military Commission had to visit the compound and convince the prisoners they were really being freed. The Americans doubted they would be released Sunday because previously they had...
Song number 83 from the Hot 100 of 1969 on the Big VN 6th Annual Concert Music Countdown. AFVN. Kelly Rogers, first edition, Ruby, don't do it.
You painted up your lips and rolled and curled your tinted hair. Are you contemplating going out somewhere? The shadow on the wall tells me the sun is going down. Don't take your love down. Started that old crazy Asian war, but I was proud to go and do my patriotic chore. And yes, it's true that I'm not the man I used to be. Still need some company. It's hard to love a man whose legs are bent and paralyzed. And the wants and the needs of a woman your age really are realized. But it won't be long, I've heard them say, until I'm not around. Don't take your love to town. She's leaving now, 'cause I just heard the slamming of the door. The way I know I've heard it slam 100 times before. And if I could move, I'd get my gun and put her in the ground. Don't take your love to town. For God's sakes, turn around.
I'll set you on your radio station there. Kenny Rogers, first edition, We Don't Take Your Love to Town. At 5 minutes before 8 o'clock at the Big VN 6th Annual Constant Music Countdown. Our specialist Tom Watts going to wrap it up for this hour. Randy Stone's going to have number 80 through number 60 coming up. This is number 81 from the Bills. And oh, what a night. Some nights you got it, some nights you don't. I'm going to hang it up right now. See ya.
Do you recall the night? That very, very special night. Do you remember a girl? A very special girl. For to the old and to the new, will we dedicate this song to you.